Welcome to this year's student presentation of the Student Code of Conduct and related policies. Today, we will review some of the aspects of the Code of Conduct, including the ways in which incidents are reported and follow-up procedures. We will also be taking a look at our bullying and hate bias processes, and then lastly, we will look at some of the important HCPSS policies. This presentation should help us all understand our roles in creating a safe and welcoming school and classroom environment. We want every student to be able to learn and grow, and it's up to all of us to make sure that can happen. MRHS High School's teachers, administration, and support staff work hard to create and support a positive school climate and culture.
We encourage every student to be a part of our Mustang community. We encourage every student to participate in at least one club or activity. We ensure every student is connected with at least one trusted adult, and we have multiple opportunities for students to share their voice. The HCPSS Student Code of Conduct provides a framework for behavioral goals and disciplinary policies. All students are expected to be aware of and abide by the Student Code of Conduct. The first 2 pages focus on the shared commitments of student, staff, family, and community. Some of the student commitments that stand out to us are that students will engage with and persist in their work. They will set personal goals and monitor their own academic success. Students will ask questions and seek assistance when they need support. Students will respect the opinions and perspectives of all other students and staff and do their very best to create a positive classroom community. The staff at MRHS High School are committed to creating a safe space where student learning is at the forefront. And we do this by co-creating classroom community, supporting student experiences and identities, modeling and encouraging self-advocacy, praising and acknowledging positive and appropriate student conduct, and providing opportunities to reestablish relationships when harm occurs. The Student Code of Conduct outlines the level of response or action necessary should behaviors warrant disciplinary action. Making sure all students know the expectations and what may happen if they are violated is important for you to not only know what is expected of you at school, but also how staff are able to respond should something happen. Academic dishonesty is not permitted through the HCPSS Student Code of Conduct. Yesterday, your teachers took some time to review the MRHS High School Code of Honor and Integrity. As a review, the HCPSS Student Code of Conduct defines academic dishonesty or plagiarism as academic dishonesty can take many forms, including plagiarism and/or cheating. Plagiarism, using the work or ideas of others, may also include the use of AI writing programs without proper acknowledgement or giving the false impression of original authorship. Cheating may include forgery, such as faking a signature of a teacher or parent, or copying the work of another person digitally or in person. Furthermore, supplying work to be copied is the facilitation of cheating. According to the Code of Conduct, if academic dishonesty is suspected, the teacher will do the following. They will gather the appropriate evidence. They will have a conversation with the student explaining the nature of the offense and the possible consequences for that offense. And they will complete an incident report assigning the appropriate consequence and contacting the parent or guardian. Consequences for violations may include a Level 1 consequence outlined in the Student Code of Conduct, such as conversation with the student and a phone call home, a Level 2 consequence outlined in the Student Code of Conduct, which may include a teacher detention or admin detention. A grade of a 0 for the entire assignment may be given, sometimes with the ability to redo the assignment or a comparable assignment, or a grade of 0 for the assignment could be given without the ability to redo the assignment. When determining a consequence, consideration may be given to the severity of the incident as well as any previous academic dishonesty violations.
You may have seen this last year. It's called an incident report. Sometimes a teacher will handle code of conduct infractions with a student and there is no documentation. However, sometimes the incident may require an incident report. An incident report is a way for a teacher to document when 1. A violation of the student code of conduct has occurred, and 2. A consequence has been given as a result. If your teacher chooses to complete one of these forms, they will ask to speak to you about it. This is to ensure you have an opportunity to share your perspective of what happened. For incidents that are more serious or that may result in a school intervention or suspension, an office disciplinary report may be written. The difference between an incident report and the office disciplinary report is the office disciplinary report is part of your permanent school record. It is also handled by administration, and it often involves a more serious consequence. Students are still entitled to due process, meaning you will have the chance to share your perspective before a decision is made. Let's learn more about your rights in this process. If you find yourself in a situation this year when you are being asked about an incident that you may or may not have been involved in, it's important to know and understand your rights in the process. Anytime administration pulls you in about an incident, these rights will be followed in the statement process. Let's review them now. If you are being questioned about an incident, you will have the right to see and hear what you are being accused of, to give your side of the story through a written statement. You will be able to call a parent or a guardian beforehand if you choose, and you can also ask for a staff member to join you to provide support. Please note that there may be times when you witness something and you are asked to provide a witness statement. In those cases, since you are not being accused of anything, these rights would not apply.
The Code of Conduct also has a strong emphasis on bullying and more specifically on hate bias incidents. It is one of the main jobs of the school system to cultivate safety and belonging in schools. The next couple of slides will give you the information you need to ensure we provide the safety and belonging you deserve. Howard County Public Schools is committed to providing a safe, affirming, and supportive environment for all students. This includes in the classroom and hallways, on school buses and field trips, and during extracurricular activities. Our school system has several policies that help ensure the kind of safe, welcoming, and supportive environment that all students deserve. Policy 1010 is our anti-discrimination policy. It states that no person in our district can be treated differently because of an aspect of their identity, including things like race, national origin, immigration status, religion, disability, gender, gender identity, or sexual orientation. Policy 9460, bullying, cyberbullying, harassment, and intimidation, reminds us that bullying and harassment are not tolerated in HCPSS. Sharing hateful or offensive language, symbols, images, or items is also prohibited. Students may not retaliate or try to get back at someone for reporting an instance of bullying. On the screen, we have the definitions of hate bias and harassment. When we put these definitions side by side, you can see that hate bias incidents can often be seen as a form of harassment in addition to discrimination. These types of incidents are offensive, hurtful, and harmful. They might take the person who was targeted feel unsafe, unseen, and unwelcome. But the person who was targeted isn't the only person impacted. When students witness these kinds of incidents happen in their schools, it can contribute to an environment where many students feel unsafe, unseen, and unwelcome. While our technology and social media policy may not feel very connected to this topic, we know that sometimes things are shared or posted online or on social media that can be considered hateful or discriminatory. This is a reminder that even things that happen outside of school or on social media may violate HCPSS policies and may result in disciplinary consequences if they disrupt the school environment. This also applies to social media accounts for student, school extracurricular activities, and clubs.
You might be asking, what do I do if I feel like an incident of discrimination, harassment, bullying, or hate bias has occurred? And we implore you to please speak up, take action, find a trusted adult. The Stop the Bullying for HCPSS reporting tool can be found online or paper copy. Copies are made available to you in Student Services and also the main office. If you do not wish to complete a form, please tell a trusted adult. Part of doing something about this problem is having a way for students to report to a trusted adult. As of February 2025, our HCPSS bullying, harassment, and intimidation form has been amended to include the option to report hate bias incidents. The form includes the definition of hate bias incidents that we just reviewed. So the same way that you report any act of bullying is now the same way you can report any act of hate bias. Now, if the reporter is reporting an incident that they believe to be motivated by race or religion, the reporter will be asked to specify the race or religion that was targeted. Give specific information and be as clear and thorough as you can. Once a report is completed, the form is routed to your school administrator. They will follow the investigative procedures to gather the perspective of the reporter, the victim, and the accused. That might involve things like interviews, written statements, and reviewing other evidence like photos and videos. Your parents will be notified and involved in all aspects of the investigation and follow-up. We want to be clear that there are no disciplinary consequences for reporting a concerning incident or pattern of incidents. After a thorough investigation, students who may be confirmed to have engaged in hateful or discriminatory behavior or any type of bullying may engage in a variety of follow-up actions, including opportunities for deeper learning and education, conversations with those that were impacted by the harm that occurred, and the possibility of exclusion from school or school-related activities. We want to close out with this message about your responsibilities as a student. Be part of creating a safe and inclusive environment in our schools where all students belong. Stand up for your peers when you see something harmful happening, and always remember to report any incidents.
The last part of our presentation includes information about specific student policies. There are many policies in our school system. Some impact students more than others. And all policies are given a number. Any policy in the 9,000 numbers directly impacts students. For example, policy 9230, which is now 1050, is the alcohol, drug, and tobacco-free environment. All drugs, alcohol, including prescription drugs and tobacco, are prohibited on school grounds. If found, policy 9200, student discipline, will be implemented. First offense consequences include a level 3 to 5 response, up to and including suspension, a mandatory assessment for a licensed addictions program for any drug, alcohol, or prescription violations, and a mandatory participation in a tobacco awareness program for any and all tobacco-included incidents. Policy 9250 is weapons. No weapons are allowed on any HCPSS property. If a weapon is found on site, HCPSS emergency protocols will be followed, including isolation of the student and securing the area. Police will be involved and strict school consequences will follow. The school system wants to remind students about 2 incidents that are deemed very serious and will always lead to police follow-up. The first involves anonymous social media threats to individuals or schools. If this ever happens, it is immediately investigated by police to determine who made the threat. If it is connected back to a student in HCPSS, the consequences are severe. At times, it can lead to police consequences as well. The second incident to bring to your attention is social media posts or pictures in which a gun is present. The gun can be real or fake, but if it looks like a gun, it is taken very seriously. The police are immediately involved, and once the student in the picture or who made the post is identified, their house is searched. This can lead to significant legal and school consequences. Please refrain from any of these unsafe actions. Additionally, if you hear or see anything, please report it immediately. Now that you are aware of our code of conduct, our bullying and hate bias processes, and some important policies, please go to the MRHS Canvas Student Community page or the MRHS Media and Student Services page and complete the student sign-off link under announcements. Please know that all administrators and staff have been trained, and we will be sharing this presentation with parents, guardians, and families. Thank you for partnering with us to make sure this is a great year for everyone.